Welcome back to our channel, your premier destination for all the most explosive General Hospital updates. Today is a spectacularly beautiful day, but the skies over Port Charles are brewing with a massive storm, and we are absolutely here for it. Grab your coffee and let's dive right into the madness. Let me tell you, my jaw absolutely hit the floor, crashed through the floorboards, and ended up somewhere in the basement after witnessing the sheer, unadulterated madness of Britt Westbourne's latest moves. I have been watching the twists and turns of this show for more years than I can count, and just when you think you have seen it all, the writers pull the rug right out from under you. Britt has finally been freed. She has her liberty back, and instead of taking a quiet, peaceful route to rebuild her life, she is choosing absolute nuclear warfare. If you thought the Britch was a thing of the past, you are dead wrong. She is back. She is more calculating than ever, and she is about to turn the lives of Jason Morgan, Dante Falconeri, and Lulu Spencer completely upside down. The sheer audacity of her new master plan is exactly why we tune in every single day. Let us start with the most immediate, heart-stopping shocker, Jason Morgan's highly anticipated return to Port Charles. We all knew Jason was coming back, and the expectation, the undeniable assumption, was that he would ride back into town on his motorcycle, clad in his signature leather jacket, and sweep Britt right off her feet. We expected a passionate reunion, a tearful embrace, and a rekindling of that undeniable spark they shared. But what do we get instead? A stone-cold rejection. Britt is looking Jason dead in the eye and essentially telling him that his time has passed. She is refusing his feelings, completely shutting down the possibility of a brace and reunion, and pivoting in a direction that nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, saw coming. She is turning to Tristan. Now, let us talk about Tristan. Who is this man, and why is he suddenly the center of Britt's universe? Tristan represents something that Jason, with his mob ties, his dangerous lifestyle, and his constant disappearing acts, can never offer her: a clean, formidable slate to build an empire. By choosing Tristan, Britt is not just making a romantic decision, she is making a strategic, calculated alliance. She knows that to pull off the mother of all custody battles, she needs a partner who is entirely devoted to her vision, someone who isn't distracted by Sonny Corinthos' latest crisis or Carly's endless drama. Tristan is the missing puzzle piece in Britt's shocking new agenda, and the fact that she is casting Jason aside to build a life with him is a betrayal that will sting Jason to his very core. The true gravity of this situation came to light during that incredibly tense, emotionally charged conversation between Britt and Lucas Jones. Lucas, bless his heart, was just trying to be a supportive friend. He sits down with her, looking at a woman who has just reclaimed her freedom, and asks the million-dollar question: what are you going to do with this new chance at life? You could see the anticipation in his eyes, probably expecting her to say she wanted to return to medicine or maybe take a long vacation. Instead, Britt unleashes a revelation so toxic, so deeply rooted in the darkest chapters of her history, that Lucas was left physically reeling. She doesn't want peace. She wants Rocco. Yes, you heard me right, folks. Britt Westbourne wants to fight for custody of Rocco, ripping him away from Dante and Lulu. For newer viewers who might not know the history, we have to travel back in time to truly understand the sheer insanity of this plot. Years ago, Britt stole Dante and Lulu's frozen embryo. She implanted it in herself, carried the child to term, and gave birth to the boy we now know as Rocco, initially naming him Ben. It was one of the most diabolical, heart-wrenching storylines in General Hospital history. Dante and Lulu went through pure hell to get their biological son back. For Britt to now suddenly decide, after all these years, that she wants to reclaim the child she carried, a child that is biologically Dante and Lulu's, is a level of villainy and psychological warfare that we haven't seen from her in a decade. Why is she doing this now? That is the question keeping me up at night. After everything she has been through, her recent captivity, her brush with losing her freedom permanently, something inside Britt has fundamentally snapped. She has realized that life is too short to play the role of the tragic, reformed heroine. In her mind, she carried that baby. She felt him kick. She gave birth to him. The maternal bond she forged during that twisted pregnancy never actually evaporated. It was just buried under years of guilt and attempts at redemption. Now that the guilt is gone, replaced by a hardened, ruthless desire for a family, she is coming for the one thing she believes was unjustly taken from her. She wants to form a picture-perfect, undeniable family unit: Britt, Tristan, and Rocco. The psychological implications for Dante and Lulu are absolutely horrifying. Dante has raised Rocco as his own flesh and blood, providing a stable, loving home. Lulu's heart has been tied to that boy since the moment she found out the truth about Britt's deception. To have the woman who violated them in the most intimate, unimaginable way possible suddenly step back into the picture with a high-powered lawsuit and a new partner is going to shatter their world. The anxiety I feel for Dante and Lulu is off the charts. They are going to have to relive the trauma of the embryo theft all over again, dragged through the mud in a Port Charles courtroom. And let us circle back to Jason Morgan, because his reaction to this entire mess is going to be television gold. Jason is a man who knows a thing or two about complicated custody situations and the pain of being separated from a child. But to see the woman he loves, or thought he loved, resurrecting her darkest, most manipulative self to destroy another family, Jason is going to be deeply, fundamentally shocked. The rejection from Britt was a blow to his ego, but realizing that she rejected him to embark on a crusade of pure vengeance and delusion with Tristan, that is going to break whatever lingering affection he had for her. Jason is going to realize that the Britt he knew, the vulnerable woman he connected with on the run, has been entirely consumed by the ghost of the old Britt. Lucas is caught right in the crossfire of this impending explosion, and my heart aches for him. As a man who values family above all else, hearing Britt calmly detail her plans to rip a child from his rightful parents left him speechless. Lucas is deeply connected to the canvas. He knows Dante, he knows the history, and he knows how destructive this will be. The shock on his face during that conversation wasn't just surprise, it was absolute horror. He is watching his friend willingly walk into a firestorm, and he knows there is nothing he can do to stop her. Will Lucas keep her secret? Or will he run to Dante and warn him that the devil is knocking at his door? This storyline is setting up a monumental clash of titans in Port Charles. On one side, you have Britt and Tristan, armed with newfound freedom, vast resources, and a twisted sense of righteous maternal entitlement. On the other side, you have Dante, Lulu, and the entire Spencer Falconeri clan who will fight to the death to protect Rocco. And hovering in the middle is a scorned, bewildered Jason Morgan. Will Jason intervene? Will he team up with Dante, a cop, his natural enemy, to stop Britt and Tristan from destroying Rocco's life? The potential for unlikely alliances here is absolutely staggering. The legal battle alone is going to be a spectacle. How on earth does a woman who committed a felony by stealing an embryo even have standing to sue for custody? Tristan must have some serious legal firepower up his sleeve, or perhaps they have discovered a loophole regarding Britt's status as the gestational carrier. Whatever their strategy is, it is going to be dirty, it is going to be underhanded, and it is going to drag every dirty secret in Port Charles out into the open light of day. I am literally on the edge of my seat waiting for the next episode. The writers have masterfully woven a tale of betrayal, historical consequences, and shocking romantic pivots that will define the show for the next year. Britt Westbourne has thrown down the gauntlet. She doesn't just want a new life, she wants the life she feels she was denied, and she doesn't care who she has to destroy to get it. The alliance of Britt and Tristan is the most dangerous new force in town, and Jason Morgan's broken heart is just the first casualty in what promises to be a devastating war for Rocco. Buckle up, General Hospital fans, because we are in for the ride of our lives.